Still my homie going for the long. He train the soft white and then he get it strong. Mama told me it'd be days like this. Whoever thought of 9 milli got me saved like this. And yeah, I pray the Lord take away no sins. As I'm next to this Henny bottle and Model Twin. A couple months prior to this, I was moving to hope. A couple months prior to that, I was moving some coke. About to crack, that pressure really has a heart attack. Jesus on the line, tell his angels I'ma call him back. 2 car crashes in 2 weeks, I'm almost out of time. 2 plan B's in 2 weeks, I'm going out my mind. I'm calling Steve like, yo, what happened? I go to sleep for like the devil laughing. I'm giving truth for the people watch it and throw them stones. Now my truth is the only reason that I belong. A broken instrument, your sentiment. If you mention it, I'm listening. Hey, but I'm doing better. Right in my dead.
Oh, let me rewind this song. Is it? Don't turn me on yet. We on right now? Okay, hey, you. 2018. This is the year you blow up. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm talking to you. 2018 is the year that we blow up because it is. It is what it is. So you just need to accept that. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi. I was just calling. Is it possible to see you online?
Yes, we're actually online right now. If you just go to voxwave.com, that's VOXWAV.com.
Hold on one second. What did you say? VOX?
Via VOXWAV, as in Victor.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't.
Is that not working for you?
Yeah, it's not working.
Well, that's the website. I mean, the website is up. I'm on the website right now. Type it in your browser where it says https://. After that, put VoxWave.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome. Maybe.
Oh, using Chrome. Yeah, but if you do that, whether it's Chrome or Internet Explorer, it doesn't matter. That should work. Where are you calling from?
DC.
Oh, you're in DC. Okay. You know you're on the air right now live. Is there something you want to talk about? Is there something you want to tell all of Washington, D.C. while you're on the air? What's your name? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. All right, well, listen, and thanks for calling, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good one. Bye-bye. That was the anonymous, and whoever you are, I hope you just put it in your browser, you'll get it, and whoever you are, you're going to be successful. I'm letting y'all know, back to my rant, success in 2018. So there's some things that we're going to be talking about this year. The name of this show, welcome, is called the Success Principles Remix. I'm your host, Frank Dent, a.k.a. Chris Chun. And I mean, the platform is this. We're trying to have some discussions about what is success. So we're going to be delving into, obviously, your career. I'm very big on business because I'm a businessman, so that's kind of my forte. So, you know, I kind of have a heart for the entrepreneur, for the person that's out there just trying to make it in terms of trying to create their own income stream. It's not easy. There's a lot of self-discipline that's involved. There's a lot of demons you got to battle. There's a lot of mental battles, physical battles, spiritual battles that happen in that world that are way heightened than any other world. But again, whether it's you're talking about career, you're talking about family, today on the show I'm going to have a friend of mine and he's going to talk about his success in life as a single dad. But again, success in relationships. I'm a sports guy, so we're going to delve into sports, looking at, because sports is a good way to kind of, good analogy of life in terms of you have an obstacle that you have to overcome. So that's kind of why I gravitate towards it. Plus, I still play basketball. No, I will put it on you. No. I will cross you up, step back. The three is wet. So please, just don't get it twisted. Just don't get it twisted. But so we're going to be delving into those subjects. But we want to take care of a couple of household items. We're here at Vox, in addition to moving our media platform around the world, we're also serious about giving back to the community, making sure that our success is tied to community endeavors. So right now we're running a coat drive. If you have a coat that you just sitting in your closet, matter of fact, I just want you to think, what coat is in your closet that you never wear? So why is it still in your closet? Take it out of your closet, bring it down here to the station, 4711 Auth Place, Suitland, Maryland. We can use that coat to help us in our drive to give folks coats who need it. So make sure you do that today. You got a blue coat hanging in your closet. You haven't worn it in 2 years. Just bring it down. Bring it down. But also, on my last show, you might have heard me talking about jobs. You know, it's when it all boils down to it. You know what happens every 30 days? There's something called bills, and they have to be paid. And the bill collector, you can't tell them, well, you know, I lost my job, or you can't tell them, well, you know, the business transaction that I thought was going to go through didn't go through. And that's the game, right? The game is you got the bills, and then you got circumstances beyond your control. So how do you remedy that? Well, here at Vox, we're going to be starting a jobs campaign where we let you know about some jobs that are happening around the world. So right now, I just want to go through a couple of jobs. Ron, switch man. Yeah, no, you good. So we're going to be looking at a couple of. We're going to be looking at a couple of jobs, and so the jobs that I'm going through, if you are interested, or if you know somebody that is interested in one of the jobs that we're going to be highlighting, contact me, because even if your referral gets the job, I will pay you. I'm going to say that again. Even if you don't get the job, but you refer the job to somebody else and they get hired, I will pay you. Just contact Vox's assistant. Her name is Chrissy Davis, and her email is cdavis@voxwave.com. So the first job that we have is in Los Angeles, California. The company is See's Candies. They're paying $80,000 a year with benefits, and it's a sanitation manager. That's a lot of money. So look. So you're going to be in LA. So for all of those that are out in California, obviously, but for those that don't live in California, I want you to start seeing the job world as a movie, right? A movie that you are the main actor, and and you're writing the script. So where do you want to be? So someone that's not in Los Angeles, but you thought maybe, you know, it might be nice for, you know, one day maybe I could live in Los Angeles. Contact me, and we might be able to make that happen. $80,000, that should be able to take care of your rent and all of your whatever. Plus you get the benefits. Plus you're working for See's Candies, so you get to eat candy all day. That's heaven right there. So if you're interested, just send an email to cdavis@voxwave.com. Next job is a Class A delivery driver in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. So you already know it's going to be pleasant there. You already know that. How do I know it's going to be pleasant where you're going? It's in the name, folks. The company is Reinhart Food Services. And as you can see there's $70,000 with benefits is the salary, and it's a $10,000 sign-on bonus. That's a good. You know what? Do I have am I a Class A? Where's my driver's license? I might need that one right there. They give you $10,000, folks. So just if you know anyone or if you're interested, just contact Ms. Davis. The next one is QC manager in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Company is Universal Dynamics. Salary is $70,000 to $90,000 a year with benefits. And I think this is the last one in San Francisco, California. The company is Constructor.io, account executive. Folks, look at that salary. $175,000 to $210,000 annually. So if that's something that you are interested in, or if you know someone who's interested in, just let me know. So again, like I said, we're not playing. We're not playing here. We are serious about helping you in terms of success when it comes to your career. I want to talk about your career for a quick second. Your career, in terms of the ideology behind it, is more than just where you work right now. It's gotta be something that you have outlined in terms of a foolproof plan, right? Because wherever you're working right now, you just don't know, you don't know how long that's gonna last, and you don't want somebody to dictate the end. That's the whole game in the job market. You do not want anybody to dictate your end. So for someone who's, right now you're watching, you're like, yeah, I got a good job, I'm cool. You never know if you're cool. And for someone that's watching and you're stressed out at work, you don't know if you're going to be there tomorrow. Take control of that situation. How do you take control? You basically start understanding that you've got to work on career advancement. You got to look at the certifications that you have. You have to look at the degrees that you have. You have to look at what type of training could I take which would allow me to be to have leverage. Meaning, if they were to say, hey, Frank, we have another project that we want to work on, but we need someone that's certified in XYZ. If it's a project management a project, they're going to want you to have a PMP. So if you don't have your PMP, but you're a project manager right now, you're on thin ice. Because if something happens at your job and they're looking at, well, who can we get rid of, who we're going to keep, they always start looking at the certifications that the person has, the degrees that they have, as well as experience. So if you're constantly beefing all of that up for yourself personally, you always put yourself in a position where your company will look at you and say, hey, this person can also do this. Plus, God forbid, something happens, you are marketable. And we're going to let's talk about that for a quick second, and then we'll go to break. Marketable means that the latest information you have when it comes to whatever. So if we're talking about management, the latest management information that's out there in terms of certification. Certifications are always advancing. So one certification will become old, and then they want you to have a new certification. When you have multiple certifications that coincide, that really makes you marketable. So I just challenge you right now, just don't go into work and then come home. No, you make sure that you start putting together a plan in 2018. Just start writing it out. You know what? It would probably make me more marketable if, and then behind the ifs, I had a certification, or I had an advanced degree, or I had knowledge in this or knowledge in that. Let's just take technology, for example. Technology is always changing. Everything right now is technology. But if you're talking about IT itself, Microsoft is always coming out with new software. The individuals that know that software first are the most marketable. So these are just things to keep in mind. And when we come back, we're going to touch a little bit more on your career and making sure that you are advancing in your career. But we're going to be successful this year. I'll see you after the break.
7B off the Beltway. Went to a major dealership and got ripped off on a luxury car.
Well, I just got a great deal on a luxury car at Star Imports in Camp Springs, Maryland. They took their time with me, they treated me with respect, and they helped me find my perfect car.
Hey, DMV, looking for a unique car buying experience? Tired of high-pressure sales? Good news. At Star Imports, you'll be delighted with our boutique-style car buying experience. We're committed to treating you with the utmost respect, even if you have less than perfect credit. Check out our impressive selection of pre-owned BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, Jaguars, and other imports starting at $5,988. For fast online guaranteed credit approvals, go to starimports.com. That's STARRIMPORTS.com. Or call 301-423-8000. Star Imports, home of the boutique-style car buying experience. Located in Camp Springs, Maryland, off exit 7B off the Beltway, next to Red Lobster.
Hold up, where you been? You know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Hold up, where you been? You know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. I've been gone for long, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to do it. I got people looking at me, praising my influence. Ain't no way to hold me. I know you see me working, ain't you? You been begging for the come up. I've been praying to the Savior. I've been down for so long, but I'm so glad that I'm up. Standing in the back, now I'm walking to the front. I never got it right, just no trying is enough. Even when I got it wrong, I was covered in his blood. But I'm back now. So glad that I'm back now, yeah. I was in the back, now I'm front, and there ain't no need to front. Ain't no luck, this is mine, I know trying is enough. Where you been, you know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Hold up, where you been, you know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Hold up, I ain't never think that this could happen. Man, this feel like magic. He done pulled a hat trick. Tony Slingshot said I should make this a habit. Make this thing a love thing, don't let the devil have it. So I got plenty reason not to fall. Ain't no time for standing still, I got something I go. Make it hit after hit, that's the only thing I know. Make it hit after hit, that's the only thing I know. Hold up, RPSMG the team, whoa. Think we gonna sell our souls, here for money or the souls. Man, you trippin', we want both. Ain't no debt is paid in full. Miss no meals, you know we good. That way, got that pull. That way, got that. When you been, you know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Hold up, where you been, you know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah.
We're back. I see you. Hey, so listen, this is Star Imports. If you want a new car, like, you know, a Bentley, nothing extravagant, you know, just something. If you want something simple like a Bentley, come down here. I'm gonna hook you up. Star Imports. Anything you want, they got it. We'll take care of you. So remember, guys, this year we're going to be successful. We're taking over. We're taking over. And when I say that, I'm saying that there's people out here that I know. I'm about to shout out just a few people. All the Raw Dogs, all the Gammas, all my people from Oakwood College. You know, there's a difference between when you say college and university. Much love to university. But when I say Oakwood College, those are those golden years. All my people, Oakwood College, this is our year. A lot of us are already successful, but there's more success that's in store for us. But that means you got to tap into your destiny. Your destiny possibly could be different from your job, right? Not saying that the two can't coincide, but you have to determine, is it time for me to make that next move? A lot of times we don't make the move because we're scared, we're nervous. How am I going to take care of myself? If I do this, I've been doing this for years, how could I make this transition? Well, first of all, talk to God. That's what I do. I talk to God, and he gives me direction. Frank, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Now, I'm hard-headed. A lot of things he's telling me, and I'm still fighting. But anyway, that's our relationship. But just tap into him. He'll guide you. But you have to tap into your vision. You can't wait. There's no time to wait. What are we waiting on? You want to start a business? Well, what are you waiting on, right? Just start writing out the plan. What is the business? What are you going to be selling? How are you going to, what's your 1 year financial projection? What's your 2 year? What's your 5 year? Basically, you're basically writing down, hey, I think I'm going to make this much money if the trinket costs 25 cents and I sell it to 10 people a day. You do the math at the end of a week, at the end of a month, at the end of a year. Okay, this is how much I'd make if I just sold this to 10 people. That's not hard to do. But if you actually sit down and you're like, wow, 25 cents to 10 people a day equals this in a year. Okay, I might want to start this business. Look how much money I could possibly make. But a lot of these things we don't do because we're nervous, we're scared or whatever. I'm challenging you to take your dream, whatever it is. If you want to be an actor or an actress and you're like, well, you know, that's when I was young. Man, that I was young stuff, that doesn't hold weight. There's no age limit to your success because your success should never be defined by somebody else. So the industry says that they are looking for people between the ages of this and this. Forget the industry. Do your own thing. You create your own company. Make yourself the product and then sell you. You don't have to wait for a major label to pick you up. Put your CD together, right? Sit down and be like, okay, how can I sell this CD right now? Right, I can upload music to iTunes by just logging into iTunes and creating an account. You got SoundCloud. You have all of these different mediums that if you want to pursue your dream and start putting action behind it, it's possible. So again, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to be, shout out to my man Alvin Clavon, Debbie Clavon. Right now, my man is pursuing a law degree. He's my age, about 40, 44, 45, 46. And he's like, listen, if I'm supposed to be a lawyer, I'm supposed to be a lawyer. If you're supposed to be a medical doctor, there's no age limit. Start doing the research. Something happens when you actually start writing out, okay, this is the vision, and this is what it's going to take for this vision to come into fruition. Something happens when you just start writing it out. So I challenge you on that, to just keep moving forward on that. Back to those that have a career. So for an individual that has a career and you want a business, that's the perfect scenario, actually. That's the perfect scenario. If you have a career, that's the perfect scenario in a lot of ways. Financially, when it comes to stability, obviously you would have benefits through the company that you're working for. So in all those areas you're covered and you don't have to worry about those things. But what you have to do is you have to start dividing your time so that you're spending X amount of time for yourself and then X amount of time for your career. Because when you're starting a business, you definitely don't want it to hamper your career or halt your career. You want to do it the smart way, like a businessman would. I got money coming in over here. I don't want to touch that money, and I want that money to stay constant. I don't want anything. I need that money as a foundation. All right. So once this is stable, then I can start slowly seeing, okay, is it possible for me to start playing around with this business concept without it affecting this flow of money over here? And so once you learn that and you're able to create that type of a paradigm, then you're in a perfect situation to have the foundation financial over here, all the little things you have to pay for when it comes to a business, money to incorporate, money that you have to spend on marketing, equipment that you may need to buy for your business, all of these things, you'll have that coming in from this over here. For those that are in your career, again, I'm gonna go back to, before we take our next break, I'm gonna go back to the idea that you got to always be looking at how can I make myself more marketable. One of the best ways, and shout out to my man Hans, who kind of has been working with me and my brother Joe. We're actually in the technology world. We're starting our own technology company, doing general networking, app development, web development, and cloud computing. But Hans basically said, Frank, start sending your resume out. That's the best way to know where you are. And I challenge you, for those that are like, well, I don't want to send my resume out. What if somebody finds out? You got to take control of your future. Again, if you're working for a corporation, they have control of your future. You got to take control of your future. You have to know, this is what you have to know. For those of my 9-to-5ers, this is what you need to know. If they come in here tomorrow and tell me that I'm fired, will I be able to survive? That's the question. That is the question. And if you can't answer that question right now, and if I ask you that, well, I don't know. I mean, well, why you don't talk like that? You don't put that on me. Listen, I don't want to touch the subject. You can't run from that. You got a boss, and that boss can, for whatever reason, come in and say so you have to prepare for that. A good way to prepare for that, a good technique, is send your resume out. Get interviews with people. See where you stand. This first of all, this job market is not easy. It's no joke. No joke. So you have to know, am I hireable? If something were to happen here, am I hireable? How do you do that? You send your resume out and you go on job interviews. Now, you can, again, if you have a job, that's the best scenario because you can look at the new opportunity compared to the opportunity that you're in right now and see which one you like the best, right? So when you do that, you don't have to take the new job, but it's nice to know that they want you, because I'm gonna tell you what a lot of you are gonna find out when you start doing this. You're gonna start find out that they don't want to hire you for whatever reason. But once you know that, now you got the information you need, because let's say, Frank, I like you, great interview, but we can't hire you because you don't have your PMP. Okay, that's what I needed to know. That was why I went through that scenario. So I needed to know, if this job let me go, I would not get this other job because I don't have my PMP. How do you change that? You go get your PMP, right? Now that you have your PMP, you can even call the people back. Hey, just want to let you know I have my PMP. If you all have any other openings, let me know. Because you're trying to get a yes. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a yes. So folks, again, we're going to be breaking these subjects down. Success 2018. It's going to be you and it's going to be me. See you after the break.
Why did you want me if it was time to go? I see you fit me all these pretty little lies. Pour another glass to fill the time. You wasted all your life and now you're taking mine. No. Back in LA, I'm counting my pay on the jet. 458, no love for the way, let's get. Set in my sights, these devils, they know I don't miss. They know I don't
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so again, folks, we're serious about making sure that those of you who are looking at your career, I just want to go back over the Vox job board, the jobs that we have. If you're interested, or if you know somebody that's interested, Ron, hook me up. So again, we're going to just go back over these. The sanitation manager in Los Angeles, California. Again, See's Candy, you get to eat candy all day. You're a manager, sanitation manager, and you're eating candy all day long. And they're giving you $80,000 with benefits. Again, if you are interested or if you know somebody that's interested, remember, you know somebody that's, if you refer somebody and they get hired, we're going to give you a little something for doing that. Next is the Class A delivery driver, Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, Reinhardt Food Services, $70,000 a year. Plus they give you $10,000 just for calling them and saying what's up. No, actually, no, you got to get hired to get the $10,000. But that's in Mount Pleasant. I know it's got to be nice in that area. I just have a good feeling about that area. And then we have the QC manager in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And the company is Universal Dynamics. And that's $70,000 to $90,000 a year with benefits. So that, if you're interested in that, just send an email to cdavis@voxwaves.com. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Is that Liz?
Yes, it is.
How you doing, Liz?
Doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. We were just going over some jobs here that we are sharing with the community. But yeah, so Liz, I'm glad you called in. So Liz is a friend of mine. We've been talking for a little bit about a platform that she has, and I was telling her that this platform was actually one that I was trying to create, and we were talking about just some different things, highlighting one of the main reasons for this platform is to highlight individuals so that they can share their story of success. Liz actually holds a very prestigious position. What?
Oh no, I'm listening.
What are you laughing at? I'm telling the truth. You hold a prestigious position in the media world, and it's a platform that a lot of young people may be looking for. And so, Liz, I kind of wanted you to just talk about who you are, what you're doing, and where you are, and how you got to where you are.
Okay. So my name is Liz Anderson, and the platform that I work for, it is a 24-hour news station here in Washington, D.C. It's called WTOP. And getting there I got there kind of in a circuitous type way. Mm-hmm. So, of course, Frank and I, for those of you who don't know, Frank and I go way back. Way back with the lean.
California days, good old days.
Yes. And so catching the city bus together, we saw all kinds of crazy stuff. But
wow, I forgot about that.
And yeah, the RTD.
The RTD, I remember I had the bus pass. I remember this guy snatched it off my chest one day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last time you did that, huh?
It was a cool experience. I was like, I wasn't scared. I was just like, they go that hard in L.A.? I guess so.
Oh, man. So, those are some good days. Mm-hmm. But so getting from there to here, so actually my interest in media work started when I was in the 7th or 8th grade, and I realized I had an interest in writing. And so I worked with the yearbook, I think when I was in the 8th grade, and then I edited the yearbook when I was a sophomore in high school. And from there, I remember one of my counselors and teachers wrote, Liz, you would be a really good journalist. I had never really thought about turning this into a career until someone told me. A high school teacher told me this. And a few years before that, to go back, there was a woman. Her name, I'll just mention her first name. Her name is Judy. I'm sure you probably know her, Frank.
Oh, yeah,
She
I think I
probably
know
has-
this lady named Judy. I think I might know her.
And so she probably has no idea. I think her husband used to be the principal of the high school where I used to go to.
That's my dad and my mom.
And so, you know, she said she probably has zero idea that, you know, she's had this influence on me. And she said, you know, I think you have a really nice voice. I never thought about that before. I thought I sounded like a boy.
I never know the story, Liz.
And so, so those little seeds were planted by, you know, by teachers and people who had areas of influence in my life. And then you carry those things with you. And then when I got to Oakwood, because we also went to Oakwood College together, I said, well, you know, I think I'll major in communications, radio, TV, film. Why not? You know, people seem to tell me I have a talent at this. Let's pursue it. And I enjoy it. Let's pursue it. So that's what I did. Worked at the College Station for 4 years. Had some other opportunities. Decided to, you know, go overseas for a year. Came back because I wanted to experience life and experience life in another country. So I got back, and, you know, work begins. But the thing is, I could not find anything in my field, at least not full time.
Right.
And I mean, it was a struggle. I was feeling bad. I was thinking, you know, did I pick the wrong major? Am I not talented enough? Am I not, you know, do I not have the right contacts? Feeling down, depressed, all that stuff.
True.
And so, but I kept looking. And that's the thing. No matter how you feel, you keep looking. If you know this is what God has for you, you keep looking. The answers may not be there right away, but you better keep looking.
You better preach. You better preach, girl. You better preach.
And so, so I, you know, kept looking, found a job it was a part-time job. I think it was only once a week, went in on Sundays at a radio station in Southern California. It was a Christian radio station in SoCal. And so, you know, I went in and once a week, a full-time position opened up, and then I was there 5 days a week. And it was so nice because we were literally 1 block from the beach. Can I get an amen?
Come on now. Preach. Preach.
So
Hey, are they
that was a
hiring?
love.
Are they hiring at that beach spot?
Actually, they moved. So,
Oh, okay.
so after that, somewhere around there, 9/11 happened. And, you know, you have that epiphany and you realize, oh, my goodness, I know I'm not old, but life is short. You know, and at any time, I think that was one of the times when I started realizing, you know, I'm mortal. We're all mortal. And we only have a finite time here on this earth, and so we better make the best of it. So I decided to pursue another interest area, which was education and teaching. So I pursued an opportunity with Los Angeles Unified School District. I taught with them for about 5 years. Realized, you know, I want a master's degree. So what do I want to get that master's degree in? I also had an urge, or I got that feeling that, you know what, you did not pursue communications to the furthest extent. I think that was the whisper in my ear saying, you know what, you're not done here yet. Yes, you took the path of education. You took the path of teaching. But it's part of your path. That was not a wrong diversion. You did not go astray by taking that path. It's part of the overall path that God has for my life. That's what I believe. And so that's what brought me out here to the D.C. area. Went to American University for a year and got my master's degree.
Nice.
And now, you know, I taught at the college level. I worked for another radio station out here. And then through a contact that I had at that station, that's how I met someone who worked at WTOP. And, you know, I'd see him like about once a week or so. And I said, hey, one day after about 3 years, I said, let me ask this gentleman, hey, do you know of any openings at COP? And he said, well, just look at the jobs online and see what's there. And if you find anything that's interesting, let me know. I'll put in a good word for you. This is someone who, and this is why this is important. You're talking about success principles.
Yes.
It's always important to put your best foot forward. It does not matter who is watching.
That's true.
Does not matter. You don't know what type of opinion someone is forming of you based on what you do just every day. Right. So always do your best. And so just by talking with this person, I assumed he learned my work ethic and learned that I cared about what I did and all that good stuff. And he put in a good word for me. I'm not saying that's the only reason I got that job, but I think having a person who is respected put in a good word for you will never hurt.
Right.
It will never hurt. And actually, I think it helps because the field is competitive.
All fields are competitive right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think you're out here about to make moves, and you go out there, they're like, nah, you're good.
And so it's always good, talk to people, get to know them, and not necessarily with the thought that, okay, I'm just going to talk to this person, so because I think they can get me where I need to be in my career. No, just get to know people and just talk to people. And I believe that's, you never know when an opportunity might open up.
That's true.
Does that make sense? It's like you're not talking to them to use them and to get them in your corner just so you can use them as a stepping stone. You are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
And you're just talking to them and you're getting to know them, and because you're friends. And as a matter of fact, a couple of those former colleagues and this particular person that I'm talking about, we're going to meet up, we're going to have dinner tomorrow night, and because we genuinely like each other and we miss each other's company. We're just going to hang out as friends,
Yeah, that's your network. You should always be strengthening your network.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: because you're talking to the world right now,
okay.
is there for the things that you're trying to accomplish? Are there pieces that you are looking forward to add to that equation or to your network right now? Or
you mean my network of people, or
any projects that you might be working on? Because again, when we met, you were saying, "Hey, I do look for people to do stories, or I'm always looking for stories." Is that correct?
Oh, most definitely, definitely. So I'm looking for, and actually, I have a podcast. It's called Planet Noun, and Frank, I know, shameless plug, I would like to have you on my podcast, Network.
I'm there.
Okay, awesome. And
I just need pizza. As long as there's pizza on the set in my trailer. I just need pizza in my trailer.
He said pizza. Oh, yeah, we're not at the level of trailers yet, but maybe one day.
I'm joking. No, go ahead. So go ahead.
God.
All right, so you have your podcast and so how do people see your podcast?
Well, it's audio only for now. I'm not opposed to expanding to video, but at this point it's audio only. So they can find it on iTunes. Just search for Planet Noun, and it has like a little purple planet. And you can also find it on SoundCloud. Just look for Planet Noun Podcast.
And it's Planet Noun, PLANETNOW, all one word?
NOUN, like the part of speech.
Oh, Planet Noun. Okay, gotcha.
That's the teacher in me.
I like that. I know, that's slick. That was slick.
Thank you much. And so yeah, it's an outlet. So one of the things that, and I put this in the first episode, one of the reasons why I wanted to start the podcast is it's an outlet.
Okay.
What I do every day, it's really fast paced, and our particular format is We use really short sound bites, and the folks there are so talented because they can take a story and they can crunch it down into 35 seconds, and you still know what the whole story is about. And so sometimes with some of the interviews that I do, especially the ones that I pursue on my own, they're not necessarily assigned by a manager. I end up talking with folks for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. One interview ended up being 40 minutes long. And I only use short snippets because every place has its format, the way they do things, and because of our particular format, we could only use a certain amount of audio.
Okay.
And so I said, well, there's all this other good audio. I just feel it's going to waste. Well, what could I do with it? And I said, well, it's the podcaster's world. So I decided to put it into podcast form and expand on the stories and, let people tell stories in their own words.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, listen, we're about to go to break, but Liz, I just want to thank you. Let's continue the dialogue. I would love to come on your podcast. Again, I just need pineapples on my pizza in the trailer, please.
Oh, you like pineapples? See, I did not know that.
I do, actually.
You are a great person because pineapples on pizza is the best thing ever.
Come on now. Great minds think alike. All right,
Amen.
So we'll be back in a second, folks. Thank you, Liz.
All right, thank you much, Frank.
Hold up, where you been? You know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Hold up, where you been? You know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. Tell me where you been at, you the best, I meant that. You ain't mean to do it, yeah, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah. I've been gone for long, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to do it. I got people looking at me, praising my influence. Ain't no way to hold me. I know you see me working, ain't you? You been begging for the come up. I've been praying to the Savior. I've been down for so long, but I'm so glad that I'm up. Standing in the back, now I'm walking to the front. I never got it right, just no trying is enough. Even when I got it wrong, I was covered in his blood. But I'm back now. So glad that I'm back now. Yeah. I was in the bag, now I'm front, and there ain't no need to front. Ain't no love, this is mine, I know trying is enough. When you been, you know I got your back, yeah. You been gone for long, I'm so glad that you're back, yeah.
I got my main man in the studio. Then you're in the studio. He's in the studio. It's an honor and a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to introduce Be Nice, Be Real, Brian Patterson, my dude. And I brought him on because we're talking about success and, success, there's a lot of people that have a lot of different definitions, but I truly see success or I think success has a lot to do with what you are up against, right? If you're not, if you're born in a privilege and you're a millionaire, I can't really, you know what I mean? Like you had that, but for the person that doesn't have and they have to create, or for the person that has and things are taken away, those are the situations where success really is defined. So I just wanted to give Brian the table, the mic, to just talk about his experience in terms of life, some of the things that he's been through and how he's overcome and how he's maintaining success. One of the prime examples of his success is sitting right in front of us. So talk to the peoples. Talk to the peoples. Just talk to the peoples.
Well, I know my story happens to a lot of people. It's not unique in a way of it happens to everybody. My wife passed away of cancer in 2016, and so basically, when your partner in life, was gone, you're just there's a lot of decisions you have to make of how to raise a little girl that's left behind and continue to move in a positive way and not let the negative outcome, per se, a negative outcome, affect your life. And we're talking about success principles. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And
that is correct, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Success, in a lot of ways, we view success as everything going your way, and that's not always success. Sometimes that's just life when things go your way. I think success always comes out of adversity. When you come out of adversity, that's success. When you haven't, somebody being a millionaire, people consider money successful. Your kids making it to from growing up, I think as a parent, that's success. Mm-hmm. You providing for your family is success. And for me, it was a matter of, and I'm still, I guess per se, trying to succeed. I think you could say it in that way. But I think I've succeeded in the fact that when my life was turned upside down, that it almost broke me, to be honest with you, but it didn't. Through prayer, through my man right here, who kept talking to me and talking me off a ledge many, many times. My baby girl who's over here sitting with me. Little kids have a way of making you do and giving you energy and strength that you didn't think you had. Because I had nothing. I was empty. I had nothing in me. There were days, and I was telling my brother this one time. We were on our way down to Virginia Beach for a baptism. And I was telling my brother, he didn't even know that, I didn't want to wake up some days. I was like, I didn't want to see tomorrow. Not that I was trying to commit suicide. I didn't want to wake up. My heart was broken. My mind was messed up. But, every day I had to pray to God to give me the strength to get through. And then in a lot of days, I don't know how I made it. I swear I think God raised my daughter for a good couple months because I don't remember a lot of things that happened. I don't remember feeding her, giving her bath. I don't remember the last stuff. I don't remember. My mind was I was done. It got done. I saw probably through the Holy Spirit just moving me. I was moving probably like a robot for that period of time, for a minute. There's a song that my daughter loves, and my wife used to sing it while she was going through her success story. And death isn't a failure; it's a success. If you continue through life, we all going to go down. But how we go down. And I swear that woman's the strongest woman I've ever seen in my life. True. And it gave me a whole different perspective on death. And she knew she was going down and fought to the end and never complained, never asked God why, nothing. Just took it like a champ. And then when she passed, I actually gained strength from watching her go through this thing. That she didn't complain. She never told me. She said she was afraid, but she didn't let it get to her. I never saw it. There was a song that she listened to, and I was telling you about this when we were talking on the phone, Ingalls. It's called Trust in You. My daughter loves it. And some of the verses and some people, y'all probably heard it. It's I will trust in you. She talks about, basically the song is basically saying that God doesn't answer, and it doesn't sound like God is hearing any of your prayers. And she basically says, when you don't move a mountain, I'm asking you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give no answers, as I cry out to you, I will trust in you. And that song has been my battle cry because we all want to base our experience with God off of, he talked to me, or he did this, or he did that. But that's not acting on faith. Faith is the presumption of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. When you don't hear God talking to you, you believe what he says. And I had to, because I had to just get in the word and pray. And I'm not going to be one of those people that say, he told me this, he told me that. No, I didn't hear no voice through this whole situation. But what I truly look back on and believe is that the people that came out of it, that the people that were there for me, that I didn't realize that how much they meant to me. And this guy to my left, I will always tell you, this man is God sent in my life for a reason. We've been through a lot, but for him to step up the way he did was something else. When a lot of people probably couldn't have done that or were afraid to say something, he would tell me, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. I truly believe in God doesn't always answer your prayers the way you want to answer them. Sometimes you got to open your eyes and look around you and see the people that are around you that's supporting you. And there's some people you have to let go and pray for and let go. I mean, my situation, to be honest, tore some families apart. But I'm not here to badger nobody. I'm just saying that God is working through everybody and everybody's needs. And sometimes you need separation in order for you to grow. I think we rely on people too much because I had nobody really around. I mean, my family was around, but not physically around. I mean, they would talk to me, but it's not the same. I mean, it doesn't matter. If God removes you from somebody in situations or whatever you think that's good for you, it's for a reason. And we have to sometimes look back and say, hey, I got to look back on this situation and say, I'm glad he did it because it made me a stronger person. It made me a stronger man. It made me today where you can ask this guy, nothing phases me. Like if something happened to me, it is what it is. If you lose everything in life, I lost everything already. Money in a house that's nothing. That comes and goes anyway. Who cares? But if you lose your loved one, someone that you love more than life itself, I've lost everything. I've lost everything that mattered to me. I mean, you could say your children, but if I had to choose between my wife and my kids, I'm choosing my wife. I'm sorry. I mean, people might think that's selfish or it's not, but that's what the Bible teaches. You got to choose, that's my partner. And then above all, you choose God, obviously. I mean, I love my kids. But, they grow up and leave. One day that's what you teach them for. You're preparing them to leave you, So your wife and you are in it to the end. So I don't want people to get it twisted that, everything is still good because I struggle every day,
So let me ask you this question before we wrap up. What would you say to someone out there, because obviously this is the toughest scenario, someone that lost someone and they're finding it hard to deal with it? Because you did something that worked.
You know what you do? You don't try to do anything to get rid of it. Don't try to put a Band-Aid over a broken leg. You have to. My philosophy was go through it. Just stick it out, go through it, take the pain, take it head on. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to get something that's going to distract you. My parents were like, why don't you move here? I was like, I can't. I've got to get through this somehow, some way. And I felt like, for me personally, what worked, being that, we play ball, athletes, all that stuff, my biggest thing, when it was a challenge, you face it. You don't run from it. And I felt like I'm not running. I'm not going to run to this person or that. I'm going to take this challenge head on. And with God by my side, yeah, it hurts. And yes, some days it's going to suck. But if you stick with it and get through it, it'll be a true healing. It won't be a superficial one where you're making somebody else be your crutch. You don't want that. You want to get through this with God and let him be your crutch and rely on him and stick it out. Don't try to run from it. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to think too hard about it. Accept it. Trust that the Lord has something in store for you, and trust that God's going to get you through it. Because I just read this morning Ecclesiastes. Solomon talks about this all the time. We all got to go to the same place at some point. I know my wife's going to heaven. I know she's going to make it because she trusted in God. So my thing now is I need to trust in the man that she trusted in. And just because she's gone doesn't mean that, I've got to be gone too. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living, but I need to live my life in order to say, okay, if I need to see her again, I got to trust the Lord just as much as she trusted him.
I got you. All right, before we wrap it up, Abby, you want to say anything to the people? You want to?
You want to come here and say hi to people? No.
You don't? Okay.
Oh, so you can do it from right there.
Is that the joint right there?
Oh, yeah, that's it right there.
All right, well, we're going to, I just want to let everyone know, again, we're going to be keeping it real on this show. You know what I mean? It's time for people, regular folk, to share your story, to share our stories, to encourage one another. We're going to create this platform. It's a media platform. God has given it to us, so we're going to use it to help people. Remember the coat drive. Remember the jobs that we have going on. If you're interested, just contact the assistant, C. Davis at voxwave.com. This is your year. You're going to be successful. I'll see you later.
Amen.
single dream. I lay each one down at your feet. Every moment of my one